Well, good evening. Welcome to another video. I've actually come up here today because there's loads of heather, and this is one of my favourite spots to come to get pictures of heather. And you'll see why in a minute, but I just couldn't resist this sunset that's coming down over here. There's not a lot in the way of composition, but if you've got a nice sunset, you've got to take a nice picture. So that's what I did. Anyway, I wanted to talk just very briefly today about a new app that I hadn't heard of before. It's not that new, it's been out for a few years, but that seems to be coming up quite a lot, especially in photography circles, and that's Vero. Now, I first heard about it, like probably a lot of people that are watching this video, from Peter McKinnon. In one of his videos, he said it was an app that he'd started using instead of Instagram. So I thought I'd talk a little bit about it, about why I also have decided to start using Vero for sharing my work. It seems to be that there are quite a few photographers at the moment that are moving over to it. But is it really the app that we as photographers are looking for? Now, I'm sure that you don't need me to tell you that Instagram has been letting a lot of people down recently, especially photographers. A lot of people have been feeling really frustrated with it. It's a good way of connecting with people, and there are ways of growing on it if you're willing to make reels, but it's not really an app for photographers anymore. And I think for a long time, photographers, such as myself, have been looking for a way of sharing our work with people that doesn't involve jumping through hoops for an algorithm. I mean, it's a different story with YouTube, but Instagram and photography, they used to go hand in hand. Not anymore. So a lot of people are trying out Vero now, myself included. Here's my handle, if you want to follow me on there. And there's a couple of reasons that I think people have chosen that specifically over any other app for sharing their work. Now, Vero as an app promises to be a truly social media app. Now, what they mean by that is it's designed for sharing what you want to share with people who want to see it. There's no adverts on it whatsoever. There's no algorithms that they say that they're using. It's just a case of being able to share what you want to share with people who want to see your work and whatever you want to talk about. And in principle, I think it's a really good idea, because by doing that, your work is put in front of the eyes of people who actually want to see it. And I think as a photographer, that's a really good thing, because what often happens is you can put your work out there and then it just gets buried in a sea of short videos and funny videos and things that aren't really anything to do with photography. Whereas if you've got a place that people who like your work know they can go and see it, something like Vero, and they can follow it along and see when you post something, then it's a really good idea. I'm yet to see if they really follow through on their promise to keep it truly social. So I'm just testing it out to begin with. But so far, I quite like what I've seen on it. Now, let's get to this spot that I wanted to photograph tonight. So here's the spot. I've already actually got the picture because the light was going really quickly and I wanted to get it before talking to the camera. So I apologise for that, you didn't get to see me set up or anything. But anyway, I really like this composition because you've got this beautiful sweeping road that goes all the way down the valley, perfectly balanced on this side by beautiful purple heather. My video camera probably doesn't pick it up, but my camera definitely, with my stills camera. And the reason I really like this spot is it's got a special place in my heart, because this was my sort of beginner's location that I used to come to when I was a complete novice at photography. The reason I used to come here is because it wasn't too far from my home, only about an hour's drive. It's perfect for a kit lens because the angle, you need about 18mm angle or just over. So I could just come with my camera and my kit lens as I was learning. That's all I had at the time. And it changes through the seasons. Like this time of year, you've got the beautiful purple heather. In winter, you get some awesome clouds coming down through the valley. I've got some really great pictures of this spot. And it was one of the first places I got where I had more than one picture that I was really proud of. So that's why it's quite a special place to me. One thing hasn't gone right tonight, and that's that there's no car or anything on this road for me to take a picture of. My car's parked too far away to use as an example, which I have before. I'll put that on the screen now. But my car's not the sort of car that I want in this picture either, so it's not going to be a portfolio picture. I have got one portfolio picture here when there's some bikes came past. That was perfectly timed. What I need is some sort of Land Rover or somebody on a bicycle going down, that'd be perfect for this location. It'll happen one day if I keep going back. But anyway, that's enough about that picture now. Let's talk some more about social media, because I think it's a really good thing that we're trying to find something new as photographers that we can share our work with. I mean, we've probably all got our own websites, I certainly have, but that's not like a feed that people can see. Whereas the good thing about social media apps is that if you post that on there, it's going to loads of people because they're on that app. And I think if a following on Vero builds up, it's got potential to be a really good app for us as photographers. So I recommend that you at least try it out if you haven't tried it already for your own work. And it's sort of still in the watch this space at the moment. I think it's got a lot of potential, but we need to see if it works. Eventually they're planning on moving to being a subscription service so that you don't have to have adverts or anything like that, and they don't have to force an algorithm on people to get people addicted. Basically, that's one of their tenets. They said they don't want to develop an app that sort of gets people addicted, and I think that's a really good thing, because social media addiction's a horrible thing for a lot of people. I've had to fight it myself sometimes. Thankfully, I've conquered it mostly. I mean, sometimes, you know, when you just open your phone and you just click on the app without even thinking, you're like, why even did I click on Facebook or Instagram or one of them? It happens to a lot of people. And I think the kickback against that is going to make social media giants rethink their approach. I certainly hope so anyway. I mean, at the end of the day, all they really care about is money. So if Vero gets it right, I think they've got big potential. And I'm certainly happy to have an app where I can share my work with people who want to see it. So we'll see. So there we are. The sun is now down. We're well into blue hour, and I'm not going to get any more pictures. So I'm going to call it a day there. Only been a very short one, but I do appreciate you watching. I suppose if I were to summarize, I think a lot of photographers have gone over to Vero because they've just been let down by other social media apps. And I think it's probably a good thing that we're searching for something a bit different, because it shows that we're not letting social media dictate what we should put out. You know, I've tried Instagram Reels and it just doesn't do it for me. I'm a photographer, not a short video maker. So I don't really want to put those out all the time and be forced to do that, if you know what I mean. So I'm happy that at least we're searching for an app where we can concentrate on photography. And I think that's why a lot of photographers are switching over to something like Vero to share their work. I mean, I'm still using Instagram. I will carry on using Instagram as well, you know, sharing stories and that sort of thing of my work while I'm out and about. But I think that Vero will be the place where my work, it kind of gets shown to people, because that's the whole point of being a photographer, is that you want to be able to show people your work and look at other people's work as well. You know, we're a community as photographers, and we really love seeing other people's photography as well, not just our own. And I'm a fan of all sorts of photography. I'm doing a video on that soon about not pigeonholing yourself when it comes to photography. Although my particular brand of photography is sort of landscape and storytelling, I love all sorts of photography, portrait photography, street photography, and there's some people that I really love their work in those sorts of areas. And it's great that there's a place that I can go to see their work without having adverts and all sorts of, you know, short videos and stuff that's not really anything to do with photography. That's all my feed has become now, and it gets a bit annoying sometimes. I suppose that's what I'm saying. Anyway, I really hope you've enjoyed today's video. It's only been a short one because I was really racing against the sun, and now the sun has won that race. So I'm calling it a day. I hope to see you on Vero. If you like to follow me on there, then go ahead. This is my handle here, the Joshua Peg, and that's what I am on all my social media. And if you want to see my work there, then that'd be great. I'd love to see your work there too, if that's your sort of thing. If you want to watch another video where I actually got a different portfolio picture, then watch this video here, and I'll see you next time. Hi, me again. On my way back to the car, I just spotted a blood red moon. It's actually a super moon at the moment. We're not quite at the full moon yet, but it still looks awesome. So I'm just quickly catching a picture of it.